All right, Cowboys Nation, let's dive deep into the latest shakeups in Dallas. Because there's been a lot going on that demands attention. Starting with the defensive side of the ball. The Cowboys are making a bold, almost desperate adjustment by moving Matt Eberflus from the sideline to the coaching booth for the remainder of the season. Now, this is not a move that reflects confidence, it's more of an acknowledgement that the current setup simply isn't working. For a team that prides itself on precision and discipline, the fact that the front office and coaching staff feel compelled to make this kind of mid-season adjustment tells you everything you need to know about where things stand. Matt has had his chances, and while he may be a solid, respectable figure off the field, when it comes to play calling and defensive strategy, he's shown that he struggles to get the most out of the talent on hand. The hope is that from the elevated view of the booth, he might better see the field and make more informed calls. But the reality is that this feels less like a solution and more like damage control. When a coordinator is moved from the sideline to a booth, it's a clear sign that the confidence in his in-game decision-making has waned. And the front office is exploring every possible way to salvage the defensive unit's performance without causing total collapse. It's a move that carries both risk and symbolism. On one hand, it's an opportunity for the team to get a fresh perspective on the field and perhaps stabilize what has been inconsistent. On the other, it's essentially an admission that the current approach has failed to produce results, and that patience is running thin. It also sends a message to the players: the organization is watching closely, and changes will be made when performance doesn't meet expectations. And that brings us to the broader context of the defense as a whole. This isn't just about Matt, it's about accountability, communication, and execution across the entire unit. There are talented players on this roster, but the system they are being asked to operate in has caused confusion and frustration at times. And those dynamics have played out visibly on the field. Some miscommunications have led to blown coverages, missed opportunities, and an overall sense that the defensive identity is not fully cohesive. It's one thing to talk about schemes in a theoretical sense, but when the execution falters at critical moments, it undermines the confidence of both the coaches and the players. That's why this move is significant. It's not just an adjustment for Matt Eberflus's benefit, it's also a signal to the team that performance matters, and that structural changes are being made to try to align talent with strategy. Shifting to personnel concerns, the news around Don Bland has raised even more questions for Cowboys fans. Bland's recurring foot injury is troubling, especially since it's the same foot that sidelined him last season. When a key cornerback is repeatedly impacted by injury, it creates a ripple effect across the secondary and forces the coaching staff to reevaluate depth and rotation, even if Bland seeks a second opinion and avoids immediate surgery. The likelihood of him landing on injured reserve with only a few games left is high. This situation puts the team in a difficult position. Do you rely on him despite the risks, or do you begin planning for alternatives? The discussion also extends to the broader strategy of investing heavily in players early in their contracts. Over the past several seasons, paying top talent ahead of performance has often backfired. Whether it's Trevon Diggs, Michael Gallup, or others who didn't quite live up to expectations, Bland's current situation exemplifies the dangers of overcommitting before knowing a player's trajectory and health outlook. It's not personal, and Bland remains a respected figure in the locker room. But from a purely strategic perspective, the Cowboys must weigh his long-term availability against the investments already made in other players and potential upgrades at the cornerback position. This is where roster management and forward planning intersect with immediate performance concerns, and the front office must make difficult decisions to balance both. The emergence of younger players like Savoni Rell offers some hope for the future, but it also highlights that the Cowboys may need to seek additional talent to ensure stability in the secondary. When you combine Eberflus's shift to the booth with Bland's injury and the overall state of the defensive roster, it's clear that this is a pivotal moment for the team. There's an urgency to get alignment, clarity, and cohesion before the season ends, even if the postseason prospects are now slim. These next few games are as much about evaluation and planning for next season as they are about the outcomes on the field. Then there's the Trevon Diggs situation, which continues to evolve amid speculation and rumor. While the full details are not public, it's evident that Diggs' approach and performance have been under scrutiny, not solely because of injury, but because of communication and scheme-related challenges. From what's been gathered, Diggs has been navigating adjustments within the defensive structure, while also addressing concerns about his own technique and execution. The interplay between player capability and coaching strategy is delicate, and when that balance is disrupted, it can lead to performance inconsistencies. Diggs has made it clear that his health and readiness are not the issues. Rather, there's a need to harmonize his play style with the team's defensive scheme. This raises broader questions about how coaches tailor systems to talent versus forcing players into roles that may not maximize their strengths. The ongoing dialogue between Diggs, the coaching staff, and team leadership reflects a larger theme in football. Success often hinges on aligning individual ability with overarching strategy. And when that alignment is off, even elite talent can underperform. Amid these developments, the Cowboys are also looking at their depth and evaluating opportunities for other players to step up, with Bland's sideline and Diggs' status still in flux. The team has to consider promoting players like Zion Childress or Josh Butler, who could play critical roles in the final stretch. These decisions are not just about covering gaps. They're about assessing the next wave of talent and how they can contribute to long-term stability. The final games of the season become a proving ground not just for current performance, but for future planning. Coaches must determine who can handle pressure, adapt to the system, and grow into reliable contributors for seasons to come. Every snap matters, both in terms of wins and in terms of building a roster that can sustain competitiveness in the years ahead. From the big picture view, it's clear that the Cowboys are navigating a period of adjustment and evaluation, moving Eberflus to the booth, managing Bland's injury, assessing Diggs' fit within the scheme, and giving opportunities to younger players are all interconnected decisions that reflect both immediate challenges and long-term strategy. The front office and coaching staff are forced to balance expectations with reality, managing talent, performance, and health across a roster filled with high stakes. Fans are watching closely, and every decision will shape the perception of leadership and effectiveness for seasons to come. This evolving situation also underscores the broader principle that in professional football, the success of a team is not determined solely by the talent on the field, but by the ability to manage personalities, health, and strategic execution simultaneously. Every change, whether it's a coordinator move, a contract evaluation, or a roster promotion, sends ripples across the team dynamic. The Cowboys are at a juncture where these decisions will influence not just the outcome of the current season, but the framework for next year. Right now, the key questions revolve around how quickly the team can stabilize defensively, whether Diggs can fully integrate into the system while maintaining his health, and how emerging players can step into roles left open by injuries. The coaching staff is tasked with the challenge of maximizing the output of available talent while also planning for the future. The interplay between immediate performance and strategic development is delicate, and every decision carries weight in shaping both the present and the roadmap for success in Dallas. The move to the booth for Eberflus also highlights the ongoing tension between coaching philosophy and player execution. When schemes are misaligned with personnel strengths, it can exacerbate performance issues and contribute to frustration among players. For the Cowboys, ensuring that the system allows players to perform at their peak is critical, particularly as the season progresses and stakes remain high. Even if the postseason is not guaranteed, coaches must be adaptable, recognizing where players' natural abilities can be leveraged rather than forcing rigid adherence to a system that may not fit. Meanwhile, the team's handling of injuries, contract decisions, and player development all intersect to define the trajectory of the franchise. Decisions made in these final weeks will not only impact the remaining games, but also influence draft strategies, off-season priorities, and long-term roster construction. Evaluating who can be counted on, who may need to be replaced, and how to balance short-term and long-term goals is an intricate process, and the Cowboys are right in the middle of it. In addition to evaluating individual players, the organization must also consider how leadership and accountability are communicated across the team. Players are watching every move, understanding the consequences of performance and the importance of adaptability within the system. Coaches must provide clarity, structure, and support, while also holding players accountable for execution. The combination of tactical adjustments, personnel decisions, and strategic oversight defines the operational rhythm of the team as they work toward both immediate and future success. This period of scrutiny, adjustment, and evaluation is a natural part of managing a professional football team. But it is magnified when the spotlight is intense, as it always is in Dallas. Fans, analysts, and stakeholders are observing the organization's ability to respond to challenges. Whether that's a coordinator change, a recurring injury, or the integration of young talent, the pressure to make the right decisions is immense. And the repercussions of each choice are felt both on and off the field. The Cowboys are navigating a complex landscape where talent, health, and strategy intersect. Every adjustment, whether in personnel, coaching, or scheme, carries implications for performance and perception. As the season progresses, the team's ability to stabilize, optimize, and prepare for the future will be a key indicator of both leadership effectiveness and the long-term competitiveness of the roster. In the context of these ongoing developments, it's essential to watch how the team manages expectations, integrates players into suitable roles, and adapts to challenges in real time. The coordination between coaching staff and players is crucial, particularly in positions where injuries or inconsistencies have disrupted continuity. The decisions made now will resonate beyond the current season, shaping both team culture and operational philosophy moving forward. The Cowboys are in a moment that blends immediate accountability with long-term planning. Every snap, every practice, and every decision contributes to a larger narrative about how the organization manages adversity, nurtures talent, and positions itself for future success. As fans, understanding the interconnected nature of these developments provides a clearer picture of both the challenges and opportunities facing Dallas at this critical juncture. The interplay between individual performance, coaching effectiveness, and organizational strategy underscores the complexity of managing a team at this level. The decisions being made regarding Eberflus, Bland, Diggs, and emerging talent illustrate the delicate balance between short-term outcomes and long-term vision. For the Cowboys, the next few weeks are about testing depth, assessing readiness, and making adjustments that will have lasting implications. The final games of the season serve as both a proving ground and a laboratory for the Cowboys staff to evaluate players, refine strategy, and make decisions that will influence the franchise in the years to come. Success in this context is not defined solely by wins and losses, but by the ability to maximize talent, manage injuries, and ensure that the team is positioned for sustained competitiveness. This dynamic environment requires constant assessment, communication, and adaptation. The Cowboys' management of coaching transitions, player availability, and tactical execution over the remaining games will determine not only the immediate trajectory of the team but also the foundation for future seasons. Everything from Eberflus's move to the booth, Bland's injury, Diggs' integration into the defensive scheme, and the opportunities for emerging talent underscores the interconnectedness of personnel, strategy, and performance. These elements collectively define the current state of the Cowboys and shape the roadmap for both immediate and long-term success. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. The NFL world is buzzing with speculation after Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones made a startling comment regarding the future of quarterback Dak Prescott. In a statement that has immediately set social media and sports talk shows alight, Jones reportedly said he asked to leave the Cowboys. The brief remark, simple in its delivery yet monumental in implication, has sparked endless debate over what could be next for Prescott and the iconic franchise. For years, Prescott has been the face of the Cowboys offense, a quarterback who has carried the team through highs and lows with his leadership and precision. Fans have celebrated his talent, analysts have dissected his performance, and the team has leaned heavily on his consistency under center. Yet, the notion that Prescott might have requested a departure throws all prior assumptions into question. Is this a strategic move for a fresh start, or a signal of deeper tensions within the organization? The statement from Jones leaves room for endless interpretation, and the football world is eager to fill in the blanks. The timing of this revelation is curious, especially given Prescott's history with the Cowboys. He has been both praised and criticized for his playmaking abilities, his ability to rally the team in clutch moments, and his role in the team's identity in the modern NFL landscape. Some speculate that this could be an opening for the Cowboys to explore potential trades, while others suggest it might be a negotiation tactic aimed at reshaping the quarterback's contract or future. Either way, the rumor mill is spinning at full speed, with insiders and fans alike trying to decipher the implications of Jones' statement. One cannot ignore the broader ripple effects of a potential Prescott departure. The Cowboys have long been a symbol of stability in a league defined by change. And losing a quarterback of his caliber, even if just for speculation, could redefine the team's strategy moving forward. Rival teams might be quietly monitoring the situation, evaluating how they could benefit from a trade or free agency move. Meanwhile, fans are left in suspense, eager for clarity, but also bracing for the possibility that the familiar face under center might soon be gone until official announcements emerge. The Prescott situation remains a tantalizing mix of rumor, speculation, and possibility, a story that could reshape the Dallas Cowboys' future and ripple across the NFL. Jerry Jones' brief but explosive comment has ensured one thing: the conversation around Dak Prescott is far from over. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.